The Galactic Assembly Hall fell silent as the human ambassador, Jace Novak, took the podium. Weary eyes from 100 alien races regarded him with a mix of pity and contempt. The Zorgans, hulking insectoids clad in shimmering exoskeletons, chittered in mocking tones. Esteemed members of the Assembly, Jace began, his voice calm and assured despite the tension in the air. For centuries, humanity has respected the laws and limitations set forth by this governing body. We have abided by your restrictions on our technological development, even as our civilization yearned to expand and explore. Murmurs rippled through the gathered aliens. The amphibious hydrons bubbled in their translation tanks, while the crystalline Kalux emitted a low resonant hum. Jace continued, "But today we come before you not as supplicants, but as equals. Humanity has made a discovery that will change the course of galactic history. We have unlocked the secrets of the quantum realm and harnessed its power for interstellar travel. No longer will we be bound by the limitations of conventional physics." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of protests and disbelief. The Zorgan ambassador, Fuck, slammed his segmented limbs against his console. "Impossible. Humans are a primitive species, barely evolved beyond their own solar system. You cannot expect us to believe such ridiculous claims." Jace remained unfazed. He raised a hand, and a holographic display materialized above the assembly. It showed a sleek silver vessel, its hull adorned with intricate geometric patterns that pulsed with an otherworldly glow. "Behold, the Quantum Wayfarer," Jace announced. "The first ship equipped with our revolutionary quantum drive. It can traverse the vast distances between stars in mere moments, rendering your wormhole networks obsolete." Shocked silence fell over the assembly. The implications of Jace's words sank in like a lead weight. The power balance of the galaxy had suddenly shifted. Zarthok's compound eyes narrowed. "This is an outrage. Humanity has violated the sacred laws of technological containment. The Assembly cannot allow this transgression to stand." Jace's jaw tightened. The Assembly's laws were put in place to prevent the rise of any single species that could challenge your authority. But humanity will no longer be shackled by your arbitrary limitations. We have earned our place among the stars, and we will not be denied. As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the assembly hall. The holographic display shifted, revealing a massive fleet of human ships dropping out of quantum space around the planet. Their hulls shimmered with the same mesmerizing patterns as the Quantum Wayfarer. Panic gripped the alien delegates. They realized, too late, that humanity had outplayed them. Earth's quantum fleet had already positioned itself to challenge the Assembly's authority. Jace's voice rose above the chaos. "This is not a declaration of war, but a new beginning. Humanity seeks to forge a new era of cooperation and equality among the stars. But we will not hesitate to defend ourselves against any who would stand in our way." The Zorkan ambassador seethed with barely contained rage, but even he could see the futility of resistance. The human fleet's technological superiority was undeniable. As the assembly descended into frantic deliberations, Jace allowed himself a small smile. Earth had taken its final stand, and the galaxy would never be the same. The age of human ascendancy had begun. The Zorgan homeworld was a harsh and unforgiving place, its surface a labyrinth of jagged canyons and toxic geysers. Deep within the planet's crust, in vast subterranean hives, the Zorgan civilization thrived. Zarthok, the Zorgan ambassador, paced restlessly in his private chambers. The humiliation at the Galactic Assembly still stung like acid in his veins. To be outmaneuvered by the upstart humans was an insult he could not abide. A chime announced the arrival of a visitor. Zarthok turned to face Zolkur, his most trusted subordinate. The younger Zorgan bowed, his exoskeleton gleaming in the dim light. "Speak," Zarthok commanded. Zolkur's mandibles clicked in a pattern of respectful deference. "Ambassador, our spies have uncovered crucial information about the human quantum drive. It seems their technology is not as infallible as they claim." Fox's compound eyes narrowed. Explain. The quantum drive relies on a rare crystalline compound found only in a handful of star systems. Without this compound, their ships are little more than elaborate toys. A glimmer of malevolent satisfaction crept into Fox's voice. And where can we find this compound? Zolkir produced a holographic star map, highlighting a remote system on the fringes of explored space. The humans have kept this information closely guarded, but our agents have identified the prime source, a planet they call Nexus Prime. Fox studied the map, his mind whirring with possibilities. Assemble our fleets. We will seize control of Nexus Prime and strangle the human quantum initiative before it can fully blossom. But Ambassador, Zolkir interjected, a direct assault on a human-controlled world could provoke a galactic war. The Assembly would surely intervene. Fox's mouthparts twisted into a grotesque approximation of a smile. Who said anything about a direct assault? We will use guile and subterfuge. The humans will never see us coming until it's too late. As Zolkir departed to carry out his orders, Fox turned his gaze to the star map, his eyes glinting with malevolent anticipation. The Zorgan gambit was about to begin, and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. Meanwhile, on Earth, Jace Novik found himself in the midst of a political maelstrom. News of the quantum fleet's deployment had leaked to the public, sparking a wave of both excitement and trepidation. In the halls of the United Nations, world leaders debated the implications of Earth's newfound status as a galactic power. Some called for restraint and diplomacy, while others clamored for an aggressive expansion of human influence. Amidst the chaos, Jace received an encrypted message from Dr. Lena Soren, the brilliant physicist who had spearheaded the development of the quantum drive. Her holographic image flickered to life, her face etched with concern. "Jace, we have a problem," Lena said urgently. "Our long-range sensors have detected unusual activity in the Nexus Prime system. I fear our secret may have been compromised." Jace's brow furrowed. "The Zorgans." Lena nodded grimly. "It's the most likely scenario. If they gain control of the crystalline compound, they could cripple our quantum fleet and turn the tables on us." "We can't let that happen," Jace declared. "I'll assemble a task force immediately. We'll secure Nexus Prime and protect our interests at all costs." As Jace set in motion the wheels of military mobilization, he couldn't shake the feeling that the galaxy was teetering on the brink of a catastrophic conflict. The Zorgan gambit was underway, and the future of humanity hung in the balance. The Nexus Prime system was a desolate expanse of space, its star a sickly yellow dwarf that cast a pallid light across its handful of orbiting worlds. On the third planet, a rocky wasteland pockmarked with crystalline formations, the fate of the galaxy would be decided. Jace Novak stood on the bridge of the Quantum Wayfarer, his gaze fixed on the holographic display that dominated the room. The image showed a fleet of Zorgan ships, their angular hulls bristling with weapons, descending upon Nexus Prime like a swarm of angry hornets. "They're not even trying to be subtle," muttered Commander Ilara Voss, Jace's second-in-command. "The Zorgans are making a bold move." Jace nodded, his jaw set in grim determination. "They think they can catch us off guard and seize control of the crystalline compound. We'll show them the error of their ways." The Quantum Wayfarer and its accompanying fleet, a mix of sleek human vessels and allied ships from sympathetic alien races, moved to intercept the Zorgan force. The distance between the two fleets vanished in a heartbeat as the human ships engaged their quantum drives. Space itself seemed to warp and twist as the opposing forces clashed. Lances of energy crackled across the void, slamming into shields and hulls with devastating force. The Zorgan ships, while formidable, found themselves outmatched by the superior maneuverability and firepower of the human fleet. Jace watched the battle unfold, his heart pounding in his chest. The Quantum Wayfarer shuddered as it absorbed a glancing blow from a Zorgan plasma torpedo. Warning lights flashed on the bridge, and the acrid scent of burnt circuitry filled the air. "Shields are holding," reported Lieutenant Kenji Sato, his fingers flying across the tactical console. Returning fire. The Wayfarer's quantum cannons pulsed, sending beams of scintillating energy slicing through the Zorgon formation. Explosions blossomed in the void as enemy ships crumpled and disintegrated under the onslaught. Amidst the chaos of battle, a single Zorgon ship broke away from the main force and descended towards the planet's surface. Jace's eyes narrowed as he recognized the distinctive markings on its hull. "Xarthok," he growled. "He's making a run for the crystalline compound." Without hesitation, Jace ordered the Wayfarer to give chase. The human ship plunged into Nexus Prime's atmosphere, its shields glowing red-hot as it sliced through the turbulent winds and toxic haze. On the planet's surface, the Zorgon landing party raced towards the crystalline formations, their exoskeletons glinting in the wan light. Xarthok himself led the charge, his compound eyes glinting with a fanatic fervor. Jace and a squad of human marines deployed from the Wayfarer, their powered armor absorbing the punishing conditions of the planet's surface. They moved to intercept the Zorgons, weapons at the ready. The two forces clashed amidst the towering crystalline spires, energy weapons flashing and sizzling in the thin atmosphere. Jace found himself face to face with Xarthok, the Zorgon ambassador's segmented limbs, a blur of motion as they fought. "You humans have overreached," Xarthok snarled, his mouthparts clicking with rage. "The galaxy will never accept your dominion." Jace parried a vicious blow from Xarthok's plasma blade, his own quantum saber humming with power. "We don't seek dominion," he retorted. "Only equality and cooperation, something the Zorgons have never understood." The battle raged on, both in the skies above and on the surface of Nexus Prime. Human tenacity and technological prowess proved a match for Zorgon ferocity and cunning. As the dust settled, the Zorgon fleet lay in ruins, their ships scattered and broken across the void. Xarthok, battered and beaten, lay at Jace's feet, his compound eyes dimmed with defeat. "It's over, Xarthok," Jace declared. "The crystalline compound is secure, and your gambit has failed." Xarthok's mouthparts twitched in a final act of defiance. "You may have won this battle, human, but the war for the galaxy's future has only just begun." Jace looked out across the blasted landscape of Nexus Prime, the crystalline formations glinting in the starlight. He knew that Xarthok was right. The Battle of Nexus Prime was only the beginning of a much larger conflict. But for now, humanity had prevailed. The quantum drive would remain in human hands, and the galaxy would have to reckon with the rise of a new power. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The age of human ascendancy had truly begun. In the aftermath of the Battle of Nexus Prime, the galaxy held its collective breath. The shock of humanity's victory over the Zorgons had sent ripples of disbelief and uncertainty throughout the interstellar community. On Earth, Jace Novick found himself at the center of a media firestorm. His face graced every newsfeed and holographic billboard, hailed as a hero and a champion of human ingenuity. But for Jace, the accolades tasted bittersweet. In the quiet moments between interviews and state dinners, Jace found himself haunted by the weight of responsibility. The quantum drive had opened up a new frontier for humanity, but it had also painted a target on their backs. Every alien race with designs on galactic dominance now saw Earth as a threat to be reckoned with. Dr. Lena Soren, the brilliant mind behind the quantum drive, shared Jace's concerns. In the sanctuary of her laboratory, she pored over the data from the Battle of Nexus Prime, searching for any weaknesses or vulnerabilities in their technology. "We may have won the battle, Jace," Lena said, her brow furrowed in concentration. "But the war is far from over. The Zorgons were just the first to test our resolve. Others will follow." Jace nodded, his gaze distant. "We need allies, Lena. We can't face the galaxy alone." Lena looked up from her work, a glimmer of an idea forming in her mind. What if we shared the quantum drive technology with other races? Not the full schematics, but enough to level the playing field. It could foster a new era of cooperation and mutual understanding. Jace considered the proposal, weighing the risks and benefits. "It's a gamble," he admitted, "but perhaps it's one worth taking. If we can bring other races into the fold, it could change the balance of power in the galaxy." And so, in a historic moment, Jace Novak stood once again before the Galactic Assembly, this time flanked by representatives from a dozen alien civilizations. In a gesture of unprecedented goodwill, humanity offered to share the secrets of the quantum drive with any race willing to embrace a new era of peaceful cooperation. The response was cautious at first, but as the implications sank in, a wave of excitement and hope swept through the assembly. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy seemed poised on the brink of a new age of discovery and unity. But not all were pleased with this turn of events. In the shadowed corners of the galaxy, old rivalries and ancient grudges stirred. The Zorgans, humiliated and vengeful, plotted their revenge. Other races, long accustomed to the status quo, saw humanity's rise as a threat to their own power and influence. As Jace and Lena watched the galaxy transform before their eyes, they knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges and dangers. The quantum drive had unlocked a new destiny for humanity, but it had also unleashed forces that could tear the galaxy apart. In the end, it would be up to the courage and determination of individuals like Jace and Lena to navigate the treacherous currents of interstellar politics and forge a path towards a brighter future. The quantum age had dawned, and with it, the promise of a galaxy united in purpose and vision. As the Galactic Assembly adjourned, Jace and Lena stood side by side, gazing out at the stars through the panoramic viewport. The infinite expanse of space stretched out before them, a canvas of limitless possibility and untold wonders. "We've taken the first step," Jace murmured, his hand finding Lena's. "But the journey has only just begun." Lena smiled, her eyes alight with the fire of discovery. "Together, we'll face whatever the galaxy throws at us. Humanity's destiny lies among the stars, and we'll reach it, no matter the odds." And so, as the quantum drive powered humanity's ships into the vast unknown, a new chapter in the story of the galaxy began. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity would never again be underestimated or dismissed. They had earned their place among the stars, and they would fight to keep it, no matter the cost. In the end, it was not the might of their ships or the power of their weapons that would define humanity's legacy, but the strength of their spirit and the unbreakable bonds of friendship and unity that would light their way to a brighter tomorrow. The quantum age had arrived, and with it, the dawn of a new era for all the beings of the galaxy.